Welcome to Treadmill Review Guru. I'm Kaylee, a certified running coach and exercise physiologist. Today, we're talking about what happens to your body if you run on the treadmill every day. Now, I think what I want to start off with is letting you know that I don't run on the treadmill every day. I do not run every day. Running every day does not give your body adequate time to rest and recover. There are exceptions. There are people who have a running streak that has been going for years and years. However, that simply means that you run at least 1 mile every day. If you are running a low amount, say less than 15 miles per week, you can probably run every day if you're generally fit without issues. More important than running every single day though, is having a consistent running routine. I competed in college cross country and track. I qualified and ran the 2025 Boston Marathon while only running a maximum of 5 days per week. I'll admit that most runners of my caliber or better are running 6 days per week, maybe even 7 days per week. You may only be resting 1 day out of every 2 weeks. However, if you're resting less than that, you're probably putting yourself at an increased risk of injury. Going forward in this video, I'm going to talk about the benefits of running 3 to 6 days per week primarily. If you're running every day without rest, especially if you're running more than 30 minutes per day, you might not actually see many of these benefits that we're about to discuss. But if you're having a hard time sticking to a running schedule, maybe it's a good idea to give yourself the opportunity to run every day. That means that sometimes you might not be able to convince yourself to run, but the next day is always another opportunity. Some of you may have better success, but if you've been following that method without making any progress, try scheduling 3 to 5 runs per week on set days so that you have planned off days. Knowing you have a fixed schedule may help you commit to your running program. So what happens if you run regularly, like 3 to 6 days per week, like I suggested? Well, you reap massive benefits in terms of improving your aerobic fitness. This means you improve your body's ability to use oxygen during exercise. You improve your heart health and circulation. Running is very taxing and it demands a lot from your muscles. When you run for 30 minutes, you take around 5,000 steps. That's a lot of work for your muscles to do. Your heart has to be able to bring your blood with enough oxygen to those muscles, as it's essential for energy production and energy utilization. So your heart and lungs have to grow stronger and more efficient to meet this need. This process improves a measurement called VO2 max. Your VO2 max is the maximum amount of oxygen your body can use in liters per minute per kilogram of body weight. VO2 max is a measure of cardiorespiratory fitness. It's also become an important measure of longevity, as cardiovascular fitness is associated with an increased risk of disease and death. At the muscular level, running improves your muscular endurance. You have 2 main types of skeletal muscle fibers in your body, type 1 and type 2. Type 1 is the type used the most during endurance running. Type 1 muscle fibers are used for endurance and need oxygen to create energy. They have a lot of mitochondria, the powerhouses of the cell, so they can make energy to keep up with you for a prolonged period of exercise. The more you run, the more efficient these muscle fibers can become at energy production. This will improve your endurance, which increases the time it takes you to reach a fatigued state. Of course, regular exercise can also help with weight loss. A daily run can increase your caloric burn, helping you stay in a caloric deficit. A caloric deficit means you burn more calories than you consume. Exercise, like running, is a part of this equation, though nutrition is the most important aspect. Hard runs can suppress your appetite though, reducing the likelihood of overeating. Now, this doesn't work for every runner, as some runners find that their appetite increases with higher training volume, so be aware of your particular needs. So there are a lot of physiological benefits to running, but what you might be able to readily feel is that your runs get easier. Running may feel miserable at first, every step may be hard and challenging, but as your heart, lungs, and muscles adapt to your training habit, your runs will feel easier. This will allow you to run faster and farther to continue challenging yourself. If you run regularly, you will be able to set goals like racing a certain distance or hitting a certain time. Your treadmill runs may need to be planned out more carefully to hit certain goals, but even a simple daily run will help you make some progress. As a running coach, I recommend trying to incorporate different types of runs into your weekly routine to keep your running streak feeling fresh. A typical week of running should have a long run, an easy run, and a fast run, also called a workout. Your long run doesn't have to be a certain distance to qualify as a long run. It just needs to challenge and improve your endurance. It should at least test your limits or maintain them. An easy run helps you build your aerobic base. It builds your tolerance for running, it improves your VO2 max, and your general fitness without being too taxing. Running may be too difficult at first for any run to be considered easy, but with time and consistency, you will get there. Running workouts are a key ingredient in making the most of your treadmill runs. These runs, typically done 1 to 3 times per week, build your VO2 max, lactate threshold, speed, and more. Different types of workouts target different adaptations within your body. Let's consider a lactate threshold run. Lactate is a byproduct of your body's energy production during aerobic exercise. That's exercise with plenty of oxygen available. Lactate is also a further source of energy. As your body produces lactate, it continues to use it as fuel, but at a certain point, your body can no longer keep up with the rate you're producing lactate. You end up producing more of it than you can readily use. This point is called your lactate threshold. Training at your lactate threshold helps you to make your body more efficient at clearing lactate. It can also increase the speed at which it starts to accumulate. For instance, when you start training, you may hit your lactate threshold at about 5.5 miles per hour, but as you train, it could increase to 7 miles per hour or even faster. You want your lactate threshold to improve so that you can run at a faster pace without needing to slow down due to fatigue. This video is specifically targeted at running on the treadmill every day, so let's take a look at how that is different from running outside. For one, having a treadmill at home that you can run on regularly makes getting consistent exercise even easier. Whether it's blazing hot or hailing, you don't have to worry because you can run indoors. Having a treadmill at home means you don't have to leave the house to get your workout done. You just have to get dressed and put on your running shoes. If you're looking for your perfect home treadmill, we have tons of videos that can help you in the process as we review the top home treadmills. Subscribe to our channel if you want more help building your fitness routine and finding top equipment. So running on the treadmill is also different from running outside because you usually get better cushioning. Treadmills have shock absorbers that cushion your steps compared to running on concrete or asphalt. This can make running more comfortable, especially for beginners. However, if you want to train for an outdoor race, I recommend adding a few outdoor workouts into your routine to let your body get used to the lack of cushioning out on the road. Running on the treadmill allows you to control your speed and incline. Since you can control your speed, you can practice running at a consistent pace and progressing the difficulty of your workouts over time. It eliminates other variables like wind and temperature that could slow you down or even speed you up. The incline feature on a treadmill allows you to take control of your incline grade. Those of you who live in a hilly area will appreciate the opportunity to run fast on a flat course, while those of you who live in a flat area can add hills to your training for the increased calorie burn and a harder challenge without having to drive to find a suitable route. When you run on a treadmill every day, you're not exposed to air resistance. Some running coaches will give you the advice to increase your treadmill incline to 1% to make your run harder, like it would be if you had more air resistance. As a treadmill expert, I find that most treadmills are already inclined to about 1% when they're supposed to be flat, so you don't have to add that incline. Now, let's talk about the dangers of actually running every single day. Whereas consistent running with rest days can improve your health and fitness, running without rest days can lead to a higher risk of injury, a compromised immune system, and decreased performance. When you exercise, the majority of the benefits you gain are created during your recovery from that exercise. You need adequate sleep and nutrition too. The trick to running consistently and reaping the most benefits is striking a balance between the amount of running and rest. If you're unsure what the right balance is, a fitness tracker, a free training plan, or a running coach can all help you find the right balance. If you find it hard to run consistently, you probably aren't in danger of overdoing it. This advice is for those of you who are already running every day and may need more rest. Not wanting to run isn't necessarily a sign that you're doing too much. It could just be a sign that you're lacking the motivation to exercise. Be honest with yourself about the true underlying reason that you want to skip your run. When you run on a treadmill every day or nearly every day, you're making a considerable investment into your health and well-being. You've joined a global community of runners who have a variety of goals, from losing weight to racing a marathon. It doesn't matter how fast you run or the total mileage that you do, you can call yourself a runner. Running on the treadmill is not something limited to a specific age group. It's something you can do for decades. Whether you're about to start your first run or your 100th, I would love to hear from you in the comments about how running has changed your life and what your goals are. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll catch you next time.